Next to take on the course is the new star Tritty Cyrus. A grand champion on Spartan Ninja Warrior, Tritty made his Spartan Sasuke debut in the 18th tournament. In Tournament 20, he was crowned a new star after failing the final jump of the third stage and would go out on the Iron Thrones in both of the following two tournaments. Tritty missed both tournaments 23 and 24, but now returns for the first time on Halo Infinite. Tritty hopes to pick up right where he left off. He's put in a lot of training for this tournament, but will it pay off? Tritty back for his 6th appearance. Bit of unfortunate circumstances of him missing the previous two tournaments. I won't go into detail of that, but it's nice to see Tritty back here in Tournament 25. Let's see if he can make the most of it. Tritty Cyrus, the new star. He's gonna get through the globe twist. A lot of these obstacles are going to be new to Tritty Cyrus, but this one will not be. The jumping spider is a little different than it was back on Halo 5. Trampoline much different, and obviously there is the drop, unlike the Halo 5 version of this obstacle. But Tritty is going to handle these changes nicely, and he's going to face the half-pipe attack for his first time. This is a tough obstacle, but Tritty gets a very good jump onto that pole. Can Tritty get the grapple? Tritty, yes he can. Down to a minute as he runs to the warp wall. Tritty up the warp wall in one, onto the compass cross. This new obstacle is new to everyone this tournament. How will he handle these Tritty jumps? Tritty Cyrus onto the third compass. Into the fourth compass. We saw Drago go out on that obstacle earlier, but not Tritty Cyrus. Tritty onto the tilted tacos. He's gonna take his time getting the safe jumps here on the tilted tacos. Down to 27 seconds. Still got plenty of time here to complete the first stage. If he can do it, it'll be his 4th appearance in a row. Not necessarily 4 tournaments in a row, but it would be his 4th appearance in a row. If he can get these remaining jumps. Tritty Cyrus. Klaxon sounding, but Tritty Cyrus is going to move on to the second stage on his first attempt at the course on Halo Infinite. Well done, Tritty Cyrus. It's been over a year since we last saw him, but he is not rusty at all. He clears the first stage for his 4th time, handling these new obstacles very well to pick up another clear. In Spartan Sasuke, Tritty Cyrus, the new star, is moving on.
I'm pretty nervous about the hanging hoops because they're really difficult, and also the Omega Ring because, sometimes I just couldn't get the timing down. But if I get past those, I think I have a chance of clearing and moving on to stage 3. So whatever happens, happens, and I hope I do good in my run.
Metal spin. But up next, we have Tritty Cyrus, the new star. Tritty has never failed the second stage before on Spartan Sasuke. Can he keep his perfect stage 2 record alive here in Tournament 25? Tritty taking a bit of a safe jump on the third box of the box office, but Tritty Cyrus gets through and onto the triple salmon ladder. Tritty, he's taking his time going into the second bar, misses the third bar, but gets up it this time. Can he get the first transfer? Yes, he can. Onto the 5th bar, 6th bar, Tritty onto the 7th bar, which he gets, and the 8th. Now for the double compressor, an obstacle he is familiar with, as well as this next obstacle, the hanging hoops. However, it's very tough. I don't know if it's tougher than it was on Halo 5. I want to say it is. However, one thing I do want to mention about the hanging hoops that I did not bring up earlier is that this obstacle has been nerfed since last tournament. The rings are a little closer than they were in the previous 2 tournaments, but right now, the obstacle that just failed, that just took out Cobra, the Omega Ring, Tritty Cyrus is through it. And onto the combo cross. Can Tritty be the first competitor to move on to stage 3 this tournament? Klaxon sounding, he gets the jump for the repulsor, and Tritty Cyrus clears with 3.4 seconds remaining. he will continue his perfect streak here on the second stage of the 4 times he's been here. Well done to Tricky Cyrus. A very good run all throughout the stage. And for the 4th time, Tricky Cyrus will advance to the 3rd stage of Spartan Sasuke.
Come on, man.
Yes! Did I do it?
Nice.
Let's go.
Oh, very close,
Yeah!
but still made it.
Going into this, I feel I do have a chance to clear. I know I can do it. I've done it in practice before. Only once though, like before I ran in stage 1. But I'm very nervous about this stage. Obviously, the Iron Thrones are a big concern for me because I am terrible at them. I failed them the past 2 times I've been on stage 3. I'm also a bit concerned about the cliffhanger as well. But I think outside of those 2 things, I do have a decent chance of reaching the final. And I'm finally hoping that my dream will come true. I'm hoping I can reach the final.
100 competitors step forward to the start line of Stage 1. Now only 6 Spartans remain to take on the 3rd stage. 8 obstacles, including a new obstacle and 2 other obstacles that have never been attempted before. Let's get this party started with Tricky Cyrus. Tricky made it to the 3rd stage in each of his previous 3 appearances on Spartan Sasuke. However, this is Tricky's first time attempting the 3rd stage on Halo Infinite. His goal is the final stage. His dream is the final stage. Now he has a chance to make his dream come true. And it all begins with the drum hopper. 5 windows you gotta climb up. Tricky is going to stick these windows. It's a lot easier to stick them, unlike the Halo 5 version, due to the physics of Infinite. He's gonna safe jump a bit here on this 5th drum, and Tricky is through the first obstacle. 1 down, 7 to go. Up next is the globe grasp. 6 globes. You have to use the poles to build up your speed to get from one globe to another. This is such a tough obstacle, and you have to get your timing just right. If you jump just the slightest bit too late, you're just gonna run off the globe. It's very easy to do that, but Tricky Cyrus has got 1 more globe left to go here on the globe grasp. And he gets the safe jump nicely on the 6th globe. And now he must face a new obstacle, the chain seesaw. 4 sets of chains he has to precisely get onto each one. They're about 40 feet apart, but you have to carefully ensure that you can land on them. These are pretty tough jumps, but Tricky is handling the new obstacle quite well. He's on the 4th chain, and he's through our new obstacle and on to the Ultra Lunatic Cliffhanger. No competitor has defeated the Cliffhanger on Halo Infinite. Can Tricky Cyrus be the first? He's onto the 4th ledge nicely. Looking into the 5th ledge. Now for the jump no one has defeated on Halo Infinite. The giant drop down to the 6th ledge. He knows this jump is tough. He's lining himself up. Tricky goes for it. And gets a safe jump nicely. He's now made it further than any other competitor here on Halo Infinite. He gets to transfer to the 7th ledge. It's no longer a backwards jump like it was on the crazy cliffhanger from tournaments 9 through 13. And Tricky Cyrus defeats the cliffhanger, the first to do it on Halo Infinite, and is now halfway through getting through this 3rd stage. He's going quickly here on the body wedge. This obstacle has never been attempted before. You have to wedge yourself in between these tiny ledges and onto an even tougher obstacle, the pirate hooks. 6 hooks you have to wrap around the pole and reach the very tiny hooks that hang off the poles. Tricky Cyrus eyeing down the 4th one. These are very tough jumps to make. It was introduced in Tournament 23, but has never been attempted before until now. Tricky Cyrus is setting a good pace on the pirate hooks, and he's on to the 6th hook, and is now 2 obstacles away from defeating this 3rd stage. Up next is his demon obstacle, the Iron Thrones. He failed this in both of his previous 2 appearances on Spartan Sasuke, but can he overcome it much like he did in Tournament 20? You've done it once before, you can do it again, Tritty, come on! As the trash truck's back, lovely timing for that. Anyways, Tritty Cyrus looking into the second throne of the Iron Thrones. He gets the second jump, looking into the third jump. Tritty gets the third jump. 2 more thrones left to go for Tritty Cyrus. Taking his time going into the fourth one. He gets that as well. 1 more throne left to go for Tritty Cyrus. And he gets the 5th throne. Now must just get the jump onto the bar, which he does. And Tritty Cyrus is just 1 obstacle away from the final stage. This is it. The flying bar. It has not been attempted since Tournament 14, and now it's the last obstacle and must face 5 bars. There are 2 rules that Tritty must follow here on the flying bar. He must stop on every bar, and he must remain in the center in between the red lines. He was shooting that final stage just earlier. He wants it. He's so close. He's 5 bars away from the final stage. He gets to jump onto the first bar. Can we see the new star, Tritty Cyrus, on the final stage? Can he be the first competitor on Halo Infinite to make it to the final stage? He's on the second bar, eyeing down the third bar. He gets the third bar. 2 more left to go for Tritty Cyrus. He's so close to victory. Can he get the jump to the 4th bar? Yes, he can! 1 more left for Tritty Cyrus. Come on, you can do it! 1 more jump to get to that 5th bar, and he is there. The music stops. Can Tritty get the final jump of the 3rd stage? He's lining it up. He goes for it. Tritty Cyrus is going to the final stage! His dream has just become reality!
Please. Please!
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Oh my
Let's
lord.
go, dude!
I love how he goes, please.
Let's go!
He just gave a little prayer.
Tritty, you can feel the unbridled joy in his voice, the kind of joy I love to see from our competitors. Tritty has just become the first competitor on Halo Infinite to defeat the 3rd stage. He overcame the Iron Thrones that took him out twice before, and the final jump that broke his heart in Tournament 20. No longer heartbroken, Tritty the Triumphant is standing by.
I can't believe it right now. I have been dreaming of this moment ever since I was watching Spartan Sasuke Tournament 8. I was watching Smokey Masuka's run, and I said to myself, I believe one day I will run Halo jumping and get to this point. And to finally prevail after all of these years of failure and devastating and tears, have finally led to this moment. And I'm just so happy right now. And I just couldn't do it without all my Halo jumping friends, especially Freemo Direct, to help me get to this point. And I'm just so happy right now. I really wanted. I never thought I was gonna do good this tournament, but I just can't believe it. I've made a great return, and I'm actually going to see the final stage. I am so happy right now, and I will probably be sobbing if I do achieve full victory, but I'm very happy right now, and I'm just so happy that I'm moving on to the final stage. Thank you so much, Rog. Let's go!
Yes!
From the United Kingdom is the new star Tritty Cyrus. He made his debut in the 18th tournament and has cleared the 1st and 2nd stages 4 times. Tonight, he will attempt the final stage for the first time on Spartan Sasuke. Can he bring one home to the nation that gave birth to Halo jumping?
I've always dreamed of this moment, getting here, and to finally see it happen. Looking at the final stage, though, I'm a bit nervous. I don't get here often in any course, for that matter. I'm a bit worried about the saving ladder, because, you know, one misstep, you're done pretty much. I just want to do a good final attempt, and I don't want to humiliate myself. So I'm hoping I can win it all and potentially be in tears again.
98 Spartans have fallen here in Spartan Sasuke 25. Now only 2 remain to take on the final stage. The first competitor to take it on here in Halo Infinite is Tricky Cyrus. Tricky has been dreaming of this moment for a very long time, ever since he first watched Smokey get total victory in Spartan Sasuke 8. Now he climbs the steps towards his final challenge. Hunter, a fellow Brit, is wishing Tricky good luck before the biggest run of his Halo jumping career to this point. He said he was feeling very nervous, very anxious before this run, but he cannot let the anxiety get to him. He needs to fight through it and put on the best run he can muster. Hopefully it'll be enough to win it all. Tricky Cyrus is ready to go. He's got a huge crowd behind him, hoping he can become a champion. 35 seconds are on the clock. Can Tricky do it? He's off! Tricky Cyrus misses the second cube of the cubicle climb! Tricky, what happened? His dream run has turned into his worst nightmare! 1.8 seconds! That's all it took!
Am I done?
What?
Am I out?
No.
The crowd is silent. They are completely stunned by what they witnessed. Tricky did worse than Sunnyside Splash in Tournament 22. When Tricky went for the second cube, he had too much side momentum, hit the block way too early, and it pulled him down. That is so unfortunate. We must hear from Tricky now.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm obviously very happy to reach this point. Never thought I would ever gonna do it, but going into that, I obviously wasn't expecting to kill the first jump. I mean, you have no choice. You cannot hang around. You gotta go. You gotta go fast. Unfortunately, I think I had the jump all down, but I just didn't get the distance. I did crouch though. Just couldn't get the distance to the second cube, and it is what it is. But you know, going down the line, I'm hoping that more Halo jumpers will follow in my suit to get to this point, and I'm hoping that next tournament, maybe I'll get back here next tournament, but we'll see what I have in store for Tournament 26, where if I hopefully get back here. On the bright side, though, at least something monumental happened after my run.
Action sounds! Smokey is getting real close to the top! Last cycle! Come on, Smokey! Do it! Yes! He's done it! Smokey Massacre has achieved total victory! Kanzenseiha! Can you believe it? He is now a 3-time champion! He does so with 2.62 seconds remaining.
Oh my god.
Oh,
He's got it. He's got it.
Yes! He did it! He did it again! The triple!
3-time grand
I'm at a
champion.
total.
Shout out to 343 Industries for sponsoring this total victory.
Shut up.
3 for 3.
Oh, baby! Triple! I regret that. I regret that.
Smokey Massacre with a run for the ages. It's been 12 tournaments since we last had a winner, but Smokey keeps his perfect final stage alive with his 3rd total victory. He was perfect on all 3 obstacles. 3 obstacles that have brought so much pain and misery to our competitors. Finally, the misery is over. Everyone can now celebrate. Let's now hear from our 3-time champion.
Poof! Wow, that feels pretty good. You know, it was a long time since I got to my last final stage, and I had never failed your final stage before, Rog. So getting here for a 3rd time and making it 3 for 3 like I said, you know, it's a Halo reference, so it had to happen. I'm surprised. I'm honestly, I am shocked. I didn't. This was not what I expected the tournament to end as. I really wanted to get to the final stage, but this was not where I expected to end up. So the fact that I am here, I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful for you, Rog, for hosting this tournament, and to all the people who are here watching and giving me advice. You know, Flame, Irish, Chumpy, mostly complaining, Snaz, Elite, JD, and Strafe. You know, it's great to have them all here for a moment like this. And I hope that people watch this run and it just shows them that, you know, no matter how your career's going, even if you think that you've peaked at one point in your career and you think that it's all just downhill from there, you just got to keep trying and keep giving it your best shot, and anything is possible. So, yeah, this is a pretty special tournament for me.
100 Spartans competed in Tournament 25, but in the end, one competitor, Smoky Massacre, defied the odds and sits on the throne of champions for his third time. And that will conclude Tournament 25. I'm RPG445, and we'll see you soon for the Infinite Renewal. Farewell, everyone.